What up, y'all? Kind of a different video again today. No unboxing or anything like that. Kind of another political thing that no one likes or enjoys. Um, but I want to talk about racism, which I know as a white male I have no right to because in today's messed up world. Oh, let me preface a bit. This video will contain probably graphic language, hardcore satire, and hardcore sarcasm. If you can't take it, get out. So, racism, yes. Obviously, by today's narrative, I'm a white male, so I'm racist. I want to give it a little bit of backstory so we can determine just how racist exactly I am, because I want to know. So if anyone, please watch this video, let me know, because I'm serious about this. I want to know. So I grew up in a tiny town in southwest Nebraska, like 870 people, pretty much only white people. That was it. Through grade school, junior high, and high school, every single one of my friends was white. I did not even know anyone who wasn't white. So obviously, you know, I had that was the perfect breeding ground for racism. I was obviously in a racist white culture that was going to feed that racism for the rest of my life. The contact I really had with Mexicans, I grew up on a farm, and they would come up and they would weed the bean fields. Because back then, I don't know if it's different now, but you couldn't really use any weed killers on beans, or it'd kill the beans too. So you had to manually take a machete and chop down weeds so that they wouldn't strangle out the beans. And I remember one year they set up this little jalapeno garden for us. It was pretty cool. My first time too of like eating jalapenos. So really, I mean, essentially, upon graduation, I really had next to no relationship at all with a non-white person. So I would end up moving to Houston, Texas. Okay, so obviously, and I was about 19, 20, so full on that. I'm racist as racist can be, you know. And when I got to Houston, I got a job at a video game store, and this was my first real interactions with people of different colors. And so of course, as a already natural born racist, this obviously killed me. You can tell I'm dead right now. This isn't actually me speaking. This is my ghost. So it was a predominantly black area, but people, you know, all races came in. But the interesting thing was the friends that I ended up making. I lived in a real cheap apartment. Had broken privacy gates everywhere. It was kind of scary sometimes at night. But oh, why did he mention a cheap area? 'Cause he's a racist. What does that have to do with anything? Rewind, forget. What happened? All the good friends I made while I lived in Texas, not a single was white. They were all different colors, and it would, to me, it was cool because it was interacting with people of culture and color that I'd never had contact with before. And it was fun. I had a blast living in Houston, and made some really good friends from, you know, a dude who was obsessed with art, going to art school. And just one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He'd give you his lunch if you didn't have one. You know, I also hung out with some pretty sketchy people, real sketchy people, and people who love Dungeons and Dragons video. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I met all these new people that I got to be great friends with and loved every minute of it. But of course, that natural racist inside me was just furious, just boiling, was like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? So I would end up leaving Texas. Of course, I'm back in Nebraska, you know, And that's been a long time ago, so I've lost contact with most of them, unfortunately. But living in Texas was a great time. Now I have a son, and the majority who's white like me, so obviously he's a racist too, because, as soon as he was born, I was like, white people are better than anyone else. For stupid people, I didn't really say that. But obviously, by today's narrative, I'm racist, he's racist. Most of the friends that he has that he hangs out with and stuff, he's got a wide variety of friends, but most of the ones that he hangs out with are Mexican. Which, once again, I'm super racist, so it kills me. My son is super racist, so it's got to be killing him. So here's the whole fucking point. Racism is not a natural fucking behavior. Racism is taught. We're not born racist. If we were born racist, I would never survive my time in Houston. I wouldn't be able to survive now. The town that I live in is a huge melting pot. There's a ton of different cultures. Every time I went outside, I'd be like a fucking vampire. And so, but still, I'm racist. My son's racist. Since day one. And, on the one hand, I think it's fucking stupid that we even have to defend any of this shit. But that's today's world. Since day one, I've always taught my son this. You don't look at a person's color, their religion, their sexuality. You look at the character. If you look at a person's character and you find, hey, I'm not going to get along with you, fine, cool, whatever. But you do not judge someone based on petty merits like skin, skin color, religion, or sexuality. I've always taught him this, and he has been wonderful with it. He's a compassionate, great kid. So, once again, goes back to my point. How are we fucking racist? How is every white person racist? What do I wake up I'm tired every morning. Am I waking up in the middle of the night, burning crosses? Don't remember it? Do I have a secret compartment filled with fucking clans? Costumes, or whatever the fuck they call them? Bed sheets, I don't know. Oh, you do too, no, Whitey. You know exactly what the damn called. So, I just don't get it. I've never gotten it. And, to me, racism has always been one of the most absurd arguments that you could make. I mean, to judge someone on something so trivial has always blown my mind since I was a kid. Never understood it. But now you got fucking sleepy Joe Biden. White supremacy is the biggest terrorism organization we have to face. And what nobody sees, these are all tactics to divide us even further. And there's people who are stupid enough to buy into it. We hear about how we're at our most racist point ever. I don't see segregation happening anywhere. Let me check the blinds. I don't see water hoses being turned on anybody. I don't see people being barred from voting. I see a lot of dead people voting, but I don't see people barred. Everybody can fucking vote now. It don't even fucking matter. But yet these are the darkest times we've ever faced as a country. And like I said, I live in the center of Nebraska. And there are a ton of black people. There's a ton of Hispanics. There's a ton of Asian people. There's a ton of white people. I've lived here for 15 years now. I've never heard of one racially motivated crime. And I'm sure it happens. I'm sure there's probably been one or two. And I know that racism exists. But Nebraska, which a lot of people, who don't know anything about this state, if you ask them about Nebraska, I bet they're going to be like corn, rednecks, cows. They're not going to have, what I'm saying is, if you would think a state was racist, Nebraska would probably come to mind. How the fuck are we doing it? How the fuck do we wake up every single day? We're all living in peace and nothing's going on. There's no rioting. There's no burning. There's no bullet fire. Everybody just does what they're supposed to fucking do. You go to work, you take care of your family, you take care of your shit, and that's that. How the fuck is it that we can do it, but everywhere else, it's just oppression as far as the eye can see, racism as far as the eye can see? Wake up, people. It's not there. This is a divisive tactic. It's a divisive tactic that the Democrats use to keep minority votes. One of the many divisive tactics that liberals use to control the vote, and people are stupid enough to buy into it. This is the great, you can be anything you want. Anyone can be anything they want, and there's examples of it everywhere. I wish to God white privilege was real, because I had some hard going, and it was all my fault. Every shit storm I endured, it was all my fault. Bad decision. I made a lot of bad decisions. Would have loved to have a white privilege card back then to bail me out. That would have been fucking rad. Don't be stupid. Open your eyes to what's actually going on. Ask questions. And then go from there. And please, someone, if you're watching this video and know how I'm racist and what I need to do to actually be unracist, I would love to know. So, like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever. I've rambled long enough. Take it easy. Keep your head above water. Later.